Welcome back to the Doorkickers player channel. This is mission 44, I believe. This is mission 44 called A View to Kill. A View to a Kill, actually. This is a hostage rescue mission, but this one, I guess, unlike mission 43, it's a much smaller map, which means that there's a lot less replay time essentially. Like for example, the last mission took me 38 seconds in sort of in replay time, I call it, and this mission is 28 seconds. So there's 10 less seconds, which means that there's also going to be less gameplay time. And this mission took me about 30 minutes to complete, about 35 minutes. It says 35 minutes and 43 seconds is the entire length of the video, but considering that the replay time is 28 seconds plus give time for just taking breaks, we'll call it around a half an hour or a little less than half an hour. Um, yeah. All right. So what I like to do in these videos is I like to put the gameplay, the entire gameplay, in 100x speed just for fun because I think it's fun to watch. So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna go through the last attempt at this mission, and I'm just going to talk through it, explain the decisions, explain the tactics and everything, and then we're just going to watch the replay time at the end. Now this video does not have any audio of the gameplay, and that's because I didn't record the audio of the gameplay, but I do record the audio in future videos. So if you're looking for that, stick around for future videos. All right, let's get into it. So you're watching about a half an hour of gameplay in a few seconds, but I just wanted to mention that I've noticed that it looks kind of choppy, and that's just because I'm play pausing, where I play for a split second and then I pause and I recalculate and I play and I pause for a split second and I recalculate. So it kind of comes out looking very choppy, but that's just because you have to make decisions for multiple people, and you have to make the decisions that are typically split second decisions in real life or in real time. You have to make those decisions, but times four for four people. So it just does, it takes a while, and then you have to draw where you want them to go, and you have to drag with your finger, and my iPad's glitchy, so it doesn't always drag it right. And yeah, so there's a lot of pausing, and that's why it comes out looking glitchy. All right, so looking at this map, it's a pretty small map. You can see that we already have a beginning of a route set up, but we don't have much of a route, and that's just because as things progress, we're gonna have to make those decisions about where to go. So we're just gonna leave that decision up for later. I can already we can already see one hostage. I don't know if there are more. I think there are more, but we can already see one. And so we're going to go ahead and make sure that an operator goes in that direction. All right, let's go ahead and play. Let's see what we're doing. Okay, so we can already see multiple tangos. We do have a sniper, it looks like, and we're going to have a door blast on the door because that's the most efficient way to get through a door without any risk of someone shooting through the door, because that does happen. And so if there's someone right behind the door, which I'm pretty sure there is because of previous gameplay, previous attempts, I'm pretty sure there's someone right behind the door. So the best way to take that person out is by setting up a blast on the door quietly and then just blowing that door, just blasting the door. All right, so we do have a sniper and we do have a second hostage that we can see. So what we're doing is we're having operator 3 set up with a route. and we're actually going to have our operators split up to create as much control over a big amount of area as possible. And so we have operator, I don't know who's who. I think it's operator 4 is going to move with operator, I think that's operator 1. I can't be certain. But we're going to have operator 4 move along with operator 1 into that alpha delta room, alpha delta corner room. And we have operator 3 moving towards the Charlie side and operator 2 moving towards the Bravo side. And operator 2 is just going to stand there and cover that area. So we have operator 4 is going to throw a flashbang in that room as well. And yeah, that's operator 1 is moving in with that into that room as well. And we're also going to utilize the sniper. So sniper took out the hostage takers and the second hostage taker as well. Okay, so this is interesting. And a third. Okay, so initially we have two hostage takers that are going to kill the hostage. And sometimes what'll happen is the second you take out one of them, or the second you start moving around or making noise or whatever, that hostage taker will just shoot the hostage. And so what's really interesting is that we managed to shoot that tango in time before he shot the hostage. So that's actually kind of interesting. And we managed to take down 3 tangos before we even finished setting up the door blast. So that's pretty cool right there already. All right, so moving on, we're just setting up the door blast, waiting for that to happen. Tap, tap, boom. All right, so we pause just to see who's behind the door now. The blast did not kill the tango that was behind the door, but did disorient him for enough time, for the operators to get him. And this is exactly why we use that. And then immediately after that, our operators spread out to cover all sort of 4 sides. They all went in different directions, and that was the right call because that way we were able to take out that tango that was in the hallway before he had the chance to move down the hallway and become a threat to our operators. So that was good. And then the reason we have operator 2 standing in that hallway is for the very reason that we just saw, that he took out that tango over there. And then the reason we throw flashbangs is so that we can take out those tangos that are about to kill the hostage in that room. Well, that one tango that's about to kill the hostage in that room. And we can disorient him before he takes out the hostage. That's the reason we throw flashbangs, as I've mentioned in previous videos. It just gives you time to move into that room. But sometimes, like I mentioned in the previous video, if you don't have cover, sometimes the better option is not to throw in a flashbang. And as we saw, that operator, I think it's operator 3, could have been badly injured or operator 2 could have been badly injured because there was that tango in that corner and in that delta side wall, and he could have either injured operator 2 or operator 3. But thankfully, operator 3 actually managed to take out that tango before anything happened, and you'll see that as soon as we move on. So yeah, that's why it's really important to know when it's good to use the flashbang and when it's not. But in this scenario, it worked out. All right, so as we move into the rooms, we see the tango on the Charlie side, we see the tango on the Delta side, And what's annoying here is that we don't have two tangos moving into that Charlie Delta room, but with operator 4 moving in and flowing in that direction, we were able to compensate for that essentially. And as you can see here, operator 4 is going to join operator 3 and move towards that hostage that's in the line of sight of the sniper. I guess he won't. I guess operator 3 is going to join operator 2. But, oh, okay. I guess we're all joining operator 2. That's interesting. But that tango that was a threat did get taken out. So that worked out for the better. And we're just going to stack up here and make our way to the hostage, but through these rooms, which is an interesting choice. I guess it makes more sense because now we can have operator 1, operator 4, operator 2. So operator 1 and 4 are going to move into the first room, while operator 2 is going to move into that small bathroom, and operator 3 is going to cover the hallway. So it's an interesting choice. Now we did take out the tango with the hostage, and it seems like we've cleared that first room. So we're going to leave the hostage. All right, so this is an interesting point in CQB. So what we're doing here is we're essentially making a calculated decision that the hostages don't need safeguarding. So sometimes I'll go in and I'll grab the hostage to make sure that the hostage is safe, because what can happen is that Tango will move into the room where the hostage is and then kill the hostage in crossfire. Right? So they're not out to kill the hostage, but they will end up killing the hostage, because of crossfire. So sometimes I'll go and I'll grab the hostage to make sure that doesn't happen. But in this case, I don't remember exactly what I was thinking, but I guess because I had cleared the entire delta side of the building, and essentially once I had cleared that first room, the only way for a tango to get to get close to the hostage would be to go through the line of sight of the sniper and then get taken out by the sniper. So essentially it's like okay, well, what's the risk factor here? And the risk factor was low. We can just leave the hostages there and focus on taking out all the tangos. So that's what we did. All right, so we're gonna move in here into that bathroom just to clear it in case there are any tangos in there, because we don't want them coming out and surprising us and taking out any of our operators. And then we're going to move operator 3. I think that's operator 3 and operator 2 into that room. We're going to move towards the greater threat and run the rabbit at the same time, essentially. Right, because of the way that the room is shaped, we're essentially doing both. And then we're going to have operators 1 and 4 tag along. We're actually going to stack them up so that they're in as close of a formation as possible. And then when they breach the room, they're all going to move in unison to take out that last tango. And mission success. So this was an interesting one. We kind of ignored the hostages and just focused on taking out the tangos. I guess that was because of the time factor, but I've said in previous videos that I like to try to focus on rescuing the hostages. Sometimes it just isn't possible in the time that it needs to be done in order to get the 3 stars. So I just go for taking out all the tangos. And as you can see, we got it in 28 seconds. So I'm assuming the time limit was 30 seconds. But yeah, it was a clean mission, as we're gonna see here. And yeah, I don't have anything else to say. All right, here's the replay. All right, well, that's it. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like. If you want to see more of these kinds of videos, make sure to subscribe. And if there's anything that you want to see in these videos, or if there's anything you want to hear about in these videos, feel free to leave me a note in the comments about that. And I'll see you all in the next video.